Welcome viewers to yet another exciting episode of Think Tank with Aman. Today, we are exploring a field that's rapidly transforming the way businesses reach, engage, and influence people. Yes, we are talking about the ever evolving field of digital marketing. Today, an average person spends about 2.5 hours on social media, and that's how powerful and important this tool has become. And to navigate this space, we have the brilliant mind and brain behind Arcadia Marketing, the founder of Arkedia Marketing. He holds a bachelor's degree from Symbiosis Pune and has collaborated with more than 200 plus brands spanning across 4 plus cities across India. Yes, let's welcome Rahul Kedia to the show. For
Hello,
me,
Aman.
he's not just a marketing expert, he's a big brother, a friend of mine, and a supporter of all my initiatives. Welcome, Rahul Bhaiya, to Think Tank with Aban.
Thank you, Aman. Thank you for inviting me. Really
This
happy to
is
be
long
here.
awaited. So, how are
Yes.
you feeling being on the show?
I think I've just been seeing your podcast since your first episode with Ritesh Bhaiya, and I think since that day, I was just very happy that somebody started it here in Siliguri, and that's now getting invited here and being a part of this. It just feels very surreal. Plus, you being a junior from my school, it just feels great that somebody from Don Bosco is doing something like this. So thank you.
I think nowadays the more of people are taking a podcast. So, yeah, something has started on the right direction.
Right.
चलो सबसे पहले तो ये बताओ ये आर्केडिया का नाम आया कहाँ से मतलब घर में क्या आपको बुलाते हैं आर्केडिया या कुछ ऐसा कुछ है
No, so it's a really funny story. So back when I was in college at Symbiosis, so I used to have a roommate. He was my senior earlier. His name is Parthav Kalani.
अच्छा
He also is from Don Bosco. So he used to DJ at a place in
Okay.
Pune. So when he was DJing, he used to practice at home. So मैंने उसको बोला यार मेरे को भी सिखा दे. So I also started learning a little bit here and there. And then one day I said, boss, if we are going to DJ together, what if we have a DJ name? Because everyone needs to have a DJ name. So there was this one song by Hardwell called Arcadia, Arcadia. So I started calling myself DJ Arcadia. So when I was starting this company, then I couldn't think of a better name than Arcadia. Just because ARCADIA was not available on trademarks, I thought ARKEDIA would be a great option.
But people might have even mistook you as like Rahul Kedia इसलिए आर्केडिया कितने बार लोग बोले ऐसे
Absolutely, that also was the thought when I was keeping it. क्योंकि डीजे का नाम भी जब हमने रखा वो इसलिए रखा क्योंकि आर्केडिया राहुल केडिया.
अच्छा
मैंने बोला यार ये सही नाम है.
very thoughtful I can understand marketing is definitely not for everyone चलो अब तो ये बताओ चलो एक टेस्ट करते हैं मतलब let's have a start this marketing podcast with a pinch of marketing I'll
Okay.
give you a product
Uh-huh.
I know that you have been working with a pet care brand so something similar to this
Okay.
and you have to give a catchy tagline or a innovative name to it ठीक है or a funny name also works
Okay.
ठीक है the product is toothpaste for dogs you can take 10
Okay.
seconds
Um, I think I wouldn't the in the moment what I can think of is I would rather give it a very generic name which is not very focused on toothpaste, because the market for toothpaste is not that large for dogs. So I would always want other products to be added. Even if it's a client, I would suggest them that don't keep a name which limits you to dog toothpaste. So I would always keep a name which is very more generic
But what's the
and towards
name?
pets. Probably I will keep something like I could keep anything. It's like what's in a name. I could keep it uh, Dogza, or so one of the brands that I already work with, like I already told you, we named it Cuddle, Kuddle.
Okay.
So it does not actually mean anything in terms of pets, but it's all about how you position that name. So probably Dogza, or your fur buddy, something like that.
Chalo, now let's get to the point of this podcast. So this podcast basically is aimed towards every aspirant, every student who wants to be associated somewhere with digital marketing, marketing, the world of branding,
Right.
or for any entrepreneur who wants to learn more about this space.
Mhm.
So tell me, you started it around 5 years back, if I'm not wrong.
About 6.5 years ago.
6.5 years back. I think उस time digital marketing was not a big thing. मतलब marketing के नाम पे लोग को लगता था Facebook में ads चला दे या Instagram में ads
Right.
चला दे. That is all about it. So why did you start? मतलब was there a eureka moment कि हाँ this is the new space?
So I think marketing and branding are two things that have always been there. I'm not talking about digital. I'm talking about marketing and branding. They've always been there since centuries, and it'll always be there. Is what I feel, because whatever we buy or choose is on the basis of branding and marketing.
100%.
So I think back in school, I used to act a lot. I used to organize events a lot, and eventually in college as well, when I was participating in different B plan competitions, CEO competitions, and I also had a job in Bangalore in a company named Simplotel, which had a SaaS product in the hotel industry. So back then, when I saw how hotels are embracing digital, so when I came back to Siliguri, I thought probably this is something that is blowing up right now, and I have always loved content and creativity and all of that. Why not merge everything and do something like this? So it was not a very well planned thought, if I may say that. It was not like, okay, I'll build this company, I'll take it from here to here, here to here. It was not like that at all. It was probably just like, this is something that I can do. Let's try it out, and then it worked out for me. That's all.
Then how do you feel after 6.5 years? Like what is your thought? Was it all worth it? And do you enjoy?
200%. I think the best decision that I've ever taken, because it has not only it has not only made me plunge into the world of business, but it has also given me a lot of exposure to other businesses. So understand that in a marketing or a branding company, I have to work with brands who are not into marketing. They are into different things. Say, for example, somebody's into steel, somebody's into could be restaurants, could be hotels, could be they're manufacturing something. So I, as a marketing agency or a marketing partner, when I work with them,
Learn about the business.
I know in and out of the company. So that exposure I couldn't have gotten in any other role or job. So this is one very exciting thing. So say for example, if I enter a fashion store and they want some that Arcadia does something for them. So when I sit with them, it's like a doctor with a patient. They'll tell all their ailments. See, this is my limitation. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm doing right now. Now you tell me what can I do. So that's very amazing.
Very true. So now the world, since you also mentioned the world of marketing is very, very big, but yet very, very undefined today.
Yeah.
So can you help for an 18-year-old, 21-year-old who wants to enter into this field? Can you help me break down the components of it, like various
Sure.
segments?
Absolutely. So different people might have different answers to this, depending on which kind of industries are they working with. Even if I'm talking about marketing, a marketing for a say a food brand might be very different from a B2B brand. Um, so, so if I can be very general for a 18-year-old or 21-year-old or 20-year-old, you have to understand that some things in marketing, in a marketing agency, are very creativity driven. Some spaces are very technically driven, and some are very business oriented. So these are the three components that I can think of. So just to break it down for you, for example, when I talk about something like a creativity, if you have to create an ad for a brand or a campaign for a brand, it could not make very a lot of sense in a technical aspect. Say for example, it could just be a jumla, it could just be something that rhymes, it could be something very very silly, it could be something that has come out of a very popular meme, it could be anything. So that is the creative space where you can design, you can copyright, you can manage brands in different ways, you can direct. There are different kinds of directors. Again, there are art directors, there are ad film directors, there are different kinds of directors. Then the technical bit, say performance marketers who are running ads for you, analysts who are actually crunching data and telling you what is happening with your brand. There are other kind of analysts who will look for Google search data and tell you what exactly are people looking for. There could be more social media managers who know how to post, where to post, what time to post, how to get done with things. Then the third aspect is the business aspect. People who are bringing in more business for the agency, or maybe collaborating with influencers. That also is a business. It could also be media. It could also expand outside digital, because digital is, so no business can survive just with digital. It has to be an integrated form of marketing. It could also be your outdoor marketing. It
Marketing.
could be radio, it could be print, it could be all of that. So these three major categories, which is, one is the creativity bit, one is the technical
Technical.
bit, one is the business bit, and there are different roles in all of these three categories.
Now suppose if I am the CEO of Arcadia rather than you,
Yeah.
तो आप कौन सा रोल के लिए अप्लाई करोगे and why? Which is the most exciting?
So I think the type of role that I've had at Arcadia, I think I'm more of a generalist now. Sometimes, so I feel that I have a bit of creativity in me as well, but also have to take care of the business. So sometimes, so I think I love sales. Apparently, if you have asked me this question, the first option that I would take is of a business developer. I would want to go out there and sell. But if I'm doing this, whenever I have some time at office, I would always want to create reels. I would always want to put in more ideas for campaigns. That is also something that I like. But business, driving business, is something that I think I'm a little more passionate about.
Perfect. Now, would you suggest, मतलब within these three categories, would you suggest someone, like, since you are a generalist, पर सब तो नहीं होते, मतलब,
Yeah.
would you suggest someone to be a generalist or a specialist in one particular arena? And let's not only limit this to digital marketing. I mean,
Yeah.
let's explore it to the integrated forms of marketing. So, उसमें भी, if would you suggest someone to be a jack
Great.
of all trades or a
So I'll tell
master
you
of none?
something before I answer this question. Aman, if I need a Mercedes Benz today, do I need a certain amount of money to buy that car?
100%.
I need it, right? If I want to know which is the most expensive car in the world, do I need the same amount of money?
No.
I think I just need an internet connection. Even if my net worth is, say, 10,000 rupees, I can still search for that car. Even if I'm the king of whatever Middle Eastern country, I can still have that same power to search for the most expensive car in the world. Maybe that guy can afford it, I cannot afford it. What I'm trying to say is, today all of us are digitally equals. पहले क्या होता था, हम कहते थे कि यार बहुत भेदभाव है, किसी में ज़्यादा पैसा है, किसी पे कम पैसा है, racism, and there are multiple things that people are divided through. But digitally, we are all equals today.
Equals.
So now when we are digitally equal, and now that you're asking me this question, if you want to work in this field, marketing or branding or digital or whatever, you should know one thing really well. And how do you know that? When you keep working in that particular part. Say for example, you are into I don't know, influencer management, or you could be in design. So ऐसा नहीं है ना कि you study design from somewhere and then you are a great designer. You have to keep working at it.
100%.
But at the same time, generalist वाला भी part आता है. You have to know everything, because in a marketing agency, every department is connected to every department. Now, if you don't know how the other department is functioning, you will not be able to do your job really well. Just to give you an example, say if you are my client and मान लो एक X बंदे ने सेल किया, then there's a Y guy who is managing your brand. Then there are other C, D, E, F. There are different people. Say maybe F में there's a design person who's doing some design for your brand. Now this F person needs to know कि copywriter क्या सोच रहा है, brand manager ने क्या promise किया है, सेल वाले ने क्या promise किया है, client कैसा है. So मतलब it's
All going hand in hand.
yeah.
100%.
So you be great at one, but you should know everything.
And how should someone start their career here? मतलब, is there a course, certification, या फिर directly hands-on go with internships, freelancing, work for some, or start your own personal brand?
So there are great courses around, online courses. There are free videos also. You studied from ISB. There's an amazing course at ISB as well on digital marketing. These courses tell you a lot of technical things, but at the same time, you will never be able to do really well until and unless you have hands-on experience. Just to give you an example, when I started this company and I wanted to hire my first employee, so I took about 30 odd interviews, and all of them from a very reputed institution in Siliguri. The one person that I selected was the person who did not know English. She did not know the ABCs as well. But the one thing that she had was a lot of passion. And the one thing that she had was, you just give me work, I'll figure it out. That kind of an attitude. So what I feel is, you do your courses if you want to. It's not an
Must.
it's not a must. It's more like you choose your happy place, whatever organization you choose. Just go there and start working. Eventually you will see that, okay, this is how this department works, this is how this department works, and that's how you get that experience. Because every agency also works in a very different manner. There's no set rule or SOP that every agency needs to run in this particular manner. So courses are great, but hands-on experience is more important.
I think one thing that I ask in every podcast, and I think this is really important, कि money is the main motivator for every career option. मतलब लोग चाहे कितना ही बोल दे passion, आप भी बोल रहे हो passion, पर अगर लास्ट में पैसा नहीं आता है तो passion का कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकते.
Absolutely, bro. 100%.
So the $1,000,000 question is कि how much do digital marketers actually make? Or not digital marketers, do marketers or branding agencies actually make? And let's not talk about only agencies. So from a job perspective, or people who want to work in the corporate for a brand per se, so what are the various money streams available, and how much do each one of them make? Not just on an average
Yeah.
level.
So I think your question is about, if you have a job at an agency, how much do you make in different roles? Is that your question?
Not just in an agency. I mean, if for example I am a brand manager for a particular category of an HUL product, working for HUL.
Okay.
So even in that case, so different categories within marketing.
Okay. Great. So I'll tell you how this works. There are the roles that I talked about, say the design team or the content team or various teams. ये तो बहुत छोटी चीज़ें हो गई. But apart from this, there are other people who drive the brand. For example, there are consultants. They could be consultants who are separate companies on their own, who come to a company like HUL or someone, and they tell them कि ऐसा करो, ऐसा करो, ऐसा करो. I think one great example is InMobi also. They do a lot of things. And then there are other types of companies who actually execute the thought process. There are both kind of companies. Now after this, we also have to see, where are they located. Are they located in a very big city in the country or outside, or are they located in a smaller 2-tier city, or are they located in a 3-tier city? Because with different cities, there are different kind of brands that you work with. Not every brand can pay, right? Say for example, if it's a $1 billion brand, they can shell out more money. But if it's a
very local SME type of business,
say 5 to 10 crore wala turnover wala business, they can't shell out the same money. So the amount of money you make is depending on the kind of brands you work with. So ultimately आपको देखना पड़ेगा आप किस तरह के एजेंसी के साथ काम कर रहे हो. But to answer your question with figures, I think in a place like Siliguri, if you are seasoned as in if you have about 5-6 years of experience minimum, you can draw a salary of, in any kind of role, you can draw a salary of about 4.5 plus a year. But if you are in a place like say a Bangalore, you can easily draw a salary of around upwards of 7.5 minimum. And if you're an entrepreneur who's into an agency, a person like me, so in a 2-tier city, I think the amount of money that you can make could range from say after you've run your company for 5 years, you can make anywhere around I think you can easily clock somewhere around 3 crores. But in a bigger city, I think after 5 years, at least 10 to 12 crores is what you clock every year.
This is the revenue part of things.
Yeah.
Agreed. ठीक है, दिस इज नाइस. सो नाउ पैसे की बात हो गया, पैशन में आते हैं. मतलब हाउ डज पीपल, मतलब मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स पीपल एक्चुअली मिसअंडरस्टैंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली अ मार्केटर डज. मतलब बहुत कुछ करते हो आप लोग. सो हाउ डज अ टिपिकल डे लुक लाइक इन द लाइफ ऑफ अ फाउंडर और मे बी इन द लाइफ ऑफ अ person working in your agency?
So I'll tell you founder first because that's easier for me to do. So founder in an agency has multiple roles, of course. Not in a particular priority order, but I'll just tell you different things. A founder takes care of the business development for sure. No matter how many people you have in business development, आपके चेहरे से ही माल बिकता है.
100%.
So it's very important that you are out there, you're meeting people, and just ensuring that sales are coming in. The second role that a founder needs to play in an agency is being the people's officer. No matter how many HRs you have, you ultimately are the people's person. You have to ensure you know everyone really well. You have to ensure that you know how they think. Because like I told you, there's a creativity aspect also. Creativity will not come if the mindset is not in the right place. So if I can tell about myself, I feel when I look at a person's face on my team, I know what is going on in that particular person's mind. I genuinely am a person who likes to know what they bring for lunch, who cooks their meals. I really want to get closer to them because I want to work with them. So creativity will only come when I really like that person and that person really likes me. So people's person is really important. And I think another aspect is ensuring, even if you have an operations manager, operations head and all of that, you have to keep ensuring that you're monitoring everything. So different departments need to have, say, one small meeting every week to ensure, okay, सारी चीज़ें सही जा रही है. And another very underrated aspect of being a founder is you have to work on your PR. And PR is, some people really enjoy PR, some people don't enjoy PR. I really love PR. Going out there, meeting people, listening to their stories, having a cup of coffee. It's not about business. You don't want money out of them. You just want to learn about things because as a marketer, the more you know about the world, the better you can work for different brands. So that's what I feel. And I think for a person working in an agency, it's a very hectic day, to be honest. I cannot take it away from them. You have to wake up on time. You have to ensure you're always on your phone. Always, as in, you have to be frequently checking your phones.
How many hours do you spend on social media? I mean, Instagram particularly.
I spend a lot.
How many hours?
I think upwards of 2.5 hours on Instagram alone. One great thing that I've done for myself is my WhatsApp notifications are not on. But I keep checking them, say, every 45 minutes to 1 hour. And I think that's fair.
Very true.
Yeah.
ठीक है, मतलब but is the work, I mean obviously agencies come with a lot of long hours as you mentioned, but is the work only glamorous कि लोग बहुत गाली भी देते हैं कि मेरा काम हुआ नहीं, इतने सारे brands के साथ काम कर रहे हो, ये result नहीं आ रहा है. I think that is definitely there.
I think
how do you handle that and what is your take on that?
I think when something like this happens, you have to first of all be very sure that you cannot claim that you're right. You have to go back to your drawing board and understand where did the mistake happen. Is it on our side? Is it a person's habit to feel that way? You have to. So one thing that we've learned over the last 6.5 years is choose your clients correctly. Not everyone understands what you do. कुछ लोगों को लगता है ऐसे ही है. So you have to ensure that you don't work with these people because they are going to suck the soul out of you. So उनको किसी और के लिए छोड़ो. You have to ensure that you're choosing your client correctly. And if there are mistakes and if the client is great, see, if you're putting in a lot of effort and if you're ensuring that you're not leaving any stone unturned, things are going to work fine. If I'm trying 10 things out for a brand, 2 might not work, and that's fine. And that's absolutely fine, and the client also understands. ऐसा नहीं है कि if somebody is telling you that ये मेरा नहीं हुआ या उसका नहीं हुआ, तो that person is not wrong. Of course, उसको भी उसका काम चाहिए यार. And when you say glamour, there's a lot of fulfillment at the end of the day. If things are going well, say for example, if I work with a brand that you own, and suddenly I see that okay, that sales have grown,
You feel happy and proud about it. 100%, no
100%.
doubt.
So we work with a very popular electronics brand. So whenever there's a sale, ऐसा लगता है हमारे जेब में पैसे आए हैं. So it's very fulfilling at the end of the day. So it's glamorous also. Every job is the same in that sense.
And tell me 2 3 digital marketing tools that you swear by. मतलब ये नहीं होता तो very difficult to work on.
100%. I'll tell you. A lot of people are against Canva, especially graphic designers and these kind of people. Fair, because the skill that they have is supremely amazing. But for a lot of other things, basic stuff, Canva is great. I swear by
I
it.
completely agree to it. मतलब
I
hands
swear
down.
by it.
It is one of the best inventions design could ever have seen, I think.
If you look at Arcadia's page, 95% of the content is Canva.
Canva.
The other tool that I would mention is, of course, everyone uses it, ChatGPT. I think it's really, really amazing because, again, when I mentioned digitally equals, um, you probably, if you take 5 hours to do a job, now you will take 1.5 hours. That's fair. You're not cheating. It's not cheating. It's fair. It's
It's
fair.
available for everyone
It's
to
available
use.
for
So
everyone, and it's not like वो आपको मन से कुछ बताएगा. आप जो डालोगे वही बताएगा. Other tools that I would swear by is yes. So there are tools for marketing agencies that help you function within the organization. I have not come across a lot of organizations that use it, but we use one. It's called um, I call it Asana. Some people call it Asana, but ASANA. It's a
Okay.
tool that we use internally. So, for example, if I have to send a logo to you by 5 p.m., that also is recorded there. And if it is sent, it's we check that box. So
it's like a work task manager kind
task
of.
management tool. I think that also is great. I can tell you more tools. I think Slack is amazing because WhatsApp is always cluttered with a lot of things. And say if you're my client and I don't want you to know something and I want to discuss something with my team, I would rather want to do it on Slack.
100%.
So-
And I think it differentiates from the personal and business side
Yeah,
of things also.
100%. So these are some tools. There are other tools also. I really like Midjourney. It has really changed our lives because we don't have to look for images all the time.
Very true.
There are many tools. There are many tools.
ठीक है, I think AI is a threat to multiple jobs also. You mentioned ChatGPT reducing the time load, but it is a threat, real threat to digital marketing. Not only agencies, but the so with respect to jobs and careers, definitely. I mean, multiple roles have been scraped off completely.
Can you
I
name a
think-
few?
I think content creation to a huge. I mean, there are people who were writing ad. I'm very sure that there is a human element, human touch that is
Yeah.
definitely needed. But अगर पहले 10 जॉब थे तो 5 हो गए हैं. So number has definitely reduced. या फिर for example script writers maybe somewhere बहुत घटा है. So how do you see that AI changing your industry?
So I don't agree to you. I think AI, what AI has done is it has just increased my speed in every aspect. If I have to say make a campaign name, I can probably write on ChatGPT ऐसा है ऐसा है ऐसा है, give me 10 options. You will always see that they have a very limited array through which they derive information. There are a lot of other things that are happening locally which are not on the internet, and ChatGPT does not know about it. ChatGPT will not understand. Say if we are in Siliguri, it's a mixed community. There are Bengalis, Nepalis, Biharis, Buddhists, Marwadis. There are multiple other communities. How do you create a campaign name
That's catering to everyone.
that's catering to everyone? ChatGPT will not know that, at least till today. So I what I feel is jobs in my agency, at least, jobs have not been scraped off. It's just that one person can do the job of 4 people, and a lot of people need these services. And since it's a booming market right now, and booming like how, so it's amazing that 5 people can do more brands.
So you save a lot of money and earn more.
No, because these people. So I think when I started, my first employee used to take a salary of, it's a very low amount. She started with 8,000 rupees. Probably an intern will kick me if I tell that person that I'll pay you 8,000 rupees today. So people have understood that okay, this is more valued. See, if you're more valued, you get paid more. So now the salaries have also increased 5x, 6x, 7x, and which is great. Everyone should get what they deserve.
Very true. So I think I've done with all the questions. So we have introduced a special format of rapid fire in every podcast
Okay.
since the last two podcasts.
Uh-huh.
So two rules: it has to be rapid and just one or two words for every answer.
Okay. And how many questions are you going to ask?
I think 7 to 8 of them, and you have to
Okay.
be very very candid, raw, and
Yeah.
if it is controversial, it is.
Yeah. Cool.
Take care. Instagram or LinkedIn, which one could you not live without?
Instagram.
Worst marketing buzzword ever.
Um, Worst marketing buzzword. I think virality. Viral kar do. I don't like that term.
If you could delete one social media platform forever, which one?
Snapchat.
Two hacks you wish you had known when you started Arcadia.
Um, I think to understand where the world is, where the country is going, so I could have started other branches earlier, is what I feel. And the other thing is, and the other thing is, I think you should have more specific people for certain jobs. Sometimes I have made a mistake of giving 3 4 roles to one person, and that's not something that you should do.
If someone wants to enter this field, what's the one skill they absolutely must have?
Attitude. Your attitude should be on point.
Weirdest client request.
Uh, I think there have been quite a few.
But one you vividly
Okay,
remember.
just day before yesterday, the client wanted us to create a reel of his personal bodybuilding videos. So we did it.
Highest you have earned from a client
In a month,
in a month.
about 13.5 lakhs.
That's huge.
That's not very huge.
Two advantages to start from Siliguri.
Um, Low cost of infrastructure, and like I said, digitally equal. You can stay wherever and work wherever.
And two disadvantages.
Lack of big brands with great mindset, and there's a huge cash flow problem in Bengal area, is what I've understood. Not just Siliguri, even in Calcutta. So there's no timely payment, or all those things don't work here.
Favorite marketing campaign of all time.
I can't choose one. I have
You
multiple.
can name two. It's
I can.
fine.
Okay, I'll name two. So there was this campaign by Asian Paints where they put up a hoarding. It was the summer season, so they put up a hoarding in orange color. Say one of the colors that you can put on the wall. So it was an orange color. It was just orange, nothing else, and an ice cream stick coming out of it. So it's
Okay.
like it looks like an ice cream. और नीचे छोटा सा लिख दिया था एशियन पेंट सो रियली लाइक इट बिकॉज समर टाइम में ज़्यादा पेंटिंग करवाते हैं लोग घर पे सो दैट वाज वन अमेजिंग कैंपेन other campaigns could be I am really fond of course, the Fevicol ads. I'm not in terms of any priority. I love multiple brands, but Fevicol is something that is very close to all of our hearts. बहुत अच्छा करते हैं वो जो करते हैं एंड सिंस न्यूमरस ईयर्स आई थिंक ओगिल्वी ने जिस तरीके से ब्रांड को बनाया है इट्स फैंटास्टिक बिकॉज सच अ बोरिंग प्रोडक्ट.
And what's your take on Zomato? I think Zomato is the brand where marketing, मतलब लोग Zomato को marketing से relate करने लग गए हैं. So what's your take on it?
I think it's fantastic. They have a very small team, is what I know of, and मतलब ना मैं भी ये कहता हूँ यार कोई नियम नहीं होता है मार्केटिंग. देयर नो रूल्स टू इट. दे ऑल्सो से देयर नो रूल्स. बस ये दिखाना है, ऐसे करना है, आई शो इट इन दिस वे. सो आई जेन्युइनली हैव अ लॉट ऑफ लव फॉर देम. बहुत ही अमेजिंग काम करते हैं यार. किसको किसको नहीं पसंद जोमेटो, लाइक यू सेड.
And lastly, where is Arcadia headed next?
I think we are trying to go to the next orbit. We've been doing rounds of a few orbits for a number of years now, and we've now actively entered into consulting brands. We've understood that mere execution is not the key. uh, Advisory roles or CMO as a service is something that a lot of these startups in Bangalore region, Delhi region, they need this, because they can't afford, say, a proper full-time CMO, because a proper full-time CMO would take a salary of, I don't know, upwards of 40, 50, 40 lakhs at least. So, say if there's an agency that enters and provides CMO as a service, or they're just consulting the brand and giving the right direction and ensuring that their team does their job correctly, that's less expensive for them. Plus, the brand, of course, gets more revenue.
So I think the world of branding, marketing, digital marketing is completely explored today. Thank you so much, Rahul Bhaiya, for
Thank you.
doing this. And thank you so much, viewers, for watching till the end. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.